So the topic that we are going to discuss this day or this afternoon is all about the school as a social system model. So let us define first what is the concept of school. School system concept, it is a model or organization that possesses creativity beyond its component parts. It is distinguished from its environment by a clearly defined boundary. It is composed of subunits, elements, and systems that are interrelated within relatively stable patterns of social order. So that was according to Olsen 1970 as cited by Timado 2014. Social system model is an organization or an institution that is built intentionally in order to possess or to mold the capabilities of the learners. We all know that in school it is considered as the pillar of hope and a vessel in order for the learners to reach its abilities and capabilities. The school was made to promote and provide quality education in order for the learners to be able to be a competitive one. That only depends on the quality of education that the teachers imply. The school was composed of subunits and subsystems, wherein every constituents or participants feel at ease. The purpose of faculty and staff together with the teachers, they are able to facilitate learning inside the school community. The next one is the school. The school is a system of social interaction. It is an organization all comprising interacting personalities bound together in an organic relationship, according to Waller 1932. As a social system, it is characterized by an interdependence of parts, a clearly defined population, differentiation from its environment, and a complex network of social relationships and its own culture. The school of social interaction. We all know that in school we are not only learning on the knowledge, but also it builds our human characteristics. It builds us through mentally, physically, socially, and emotionally. The school was built to interact between the students, teachers, faculty, and staff inside the school community. The school was made up of interaction between diversity of people. We all know we came from different backgrounds, different traditions, cultural heritage, different religion, and even different characteristics. But because of school, we are able to socialize, interact, and build relationships that strengthen the school spirit, wherein we are able to define odds and surmount heights because we are one. We are united and we are empowered. That is why the school remains its value, because of the constituents that provides and promulgate the rights of all individuals, that we have the right to educate ourselves and we have the right to take education.
Key elements of a school as a social system. We have 8 elements of a school as a social system. The number 1 is structure, the number 2 is individual, the number 3 is culture, and number 4 is politics, the number 5 is technical core, the number 6 is environment, the number 7 is outcome. The number 8 is feedback loops, the external and internal.
Structure. Structure is a set of bureaucratic expectations such as rules, regulation, hierarchy, and division of labor are designed to attain school goals in a rational and impartial way. Structure are expectations of positions that are arranged in a hierarchy. The hierarchy distributes tasks, specialized individuals, and the organization as a result of division of labor, Parson 1960. The structure of social system inherits many elements from rational, natural, and open system theories. A structure is an arrangement and organization of interrelated elements in a material object or system, or the object or system so organized.
So, good morning everyone. This is Mary Ann Olazaga. My assigned topic is individual. Student, teacher, and administrators bring with them individual needs, goals, belief, and develop their own personal orientation and intellectual understanding of their rules. Individual motivation is a particular importance. So, individual is a key unit of social system. So, it constitutes the basic interaction you need and the social system individual have a function or role to perform in terms of the status or he or she occupies in the system schools if individual that possess various roles and position. So like this, the principals, teacher, and students which clearly justify the school as a social system.
Culture of a school as a social system refers to the values, belief, norms, and practices that shape the behaviors and interaction of students, teachers, administrators, and other individuals within the school community. So, culture of a school as a social system is mao na siya ang ilang values, belief, ilang tinuuhan, norms of practices, and rituals nga ilang ginabuhat in order to shape saktohon ang behavior, mga batasan, and interaction way their interaction sa mga students, teacher, administrators, o other individuals sulod sa school community. It encompasses the social dynamics, relationship, and patterns of behavior that inform the overall atmosphere and climate of the school. So, kani siya is gina-encompass niya ang ilahang social dynamics, ilahang relationship o patterns sa ilahang behavior nga mao ilahang ginapakita or ginahibuhat lod sa eskwelahan. So, there are key elements of culture of a school as a social system. Shared values and belief, norms and practices, roles and hierarchies, relationship and social interaction, language and communications, traditions and rituals.
Hello everyone, good day. I'm Jessa Monte de Ramos, BA3 student. I'm here to discuss about the politics of school as a social system. Politics emerges from the interaction of authority and power within any organization. Power and politics inextricably mix in many organizations. There will inevitably people who want to achieve their satisfaction by acquiring power legitimately or illegitimately. So, what is power and authority? So, power. Power is the capability to secure the dominance of one's goals or values over others. So, ang kaning power is the dominance to rule over the others. In school organization, power is important because it helps to accomplish one object of the school. So, in school, there are different kinds of rules. So, dapat naay person na naay power para ma-accomplish ang dapat nabuhaton sa mga different kinds of teacher. Dapat nay magkuman sila para ma-accomplish ang kana na object na ilang buhaton. So power is very important sa kanang eskwelahan because kung walay power, walay organization, walay magdiman, walay magkuman, kung unsay dapat buhaton, walay kanang kana bitong i-accomplish ang dapat na buhaton sa mga different kinds of teachers and students. So, let's move on to authority. So, what is authority? The right or power to command government or enforce obedience. Authority is to command the people. Authority is important because it's ensured that everyone follow the school command toward the organization of the school or its goals. So, authority is very important gid ni siya sa school. It's because, di ba, namatay ka ng power. So, pag ang tao na power, dapat napay authority para mubuhat ana na kuman. So, nakakay authority na magkuman sa mga tao para buhaton ang mga different na activities or kanang different na buhaton para school para ma-accomplish ang inyong objectives ana. So, authority is kanang isa pud na siya sa very solid foundation sa school because kung walay command, walay obedience, walay kanang power sa usag-usa, dili mahimo ang isa ka organization diha sa school. So, authority is to organize. So, there are different types of power. So, there are 3 types of power. The reward power, the coercive power, and the expert power. So, the reward power is to derive from the belief of individuals that accomplish brings rewards. So, ang reward power is kanang, like for example, if the student was not able to comply all the requirements, they get reward to their teacher like higher score or grade. So, ang reward power is kanang mag-reflect na siya sa students and teacher. For example, if ikaw mag-comply sa mga kanang requirements na ipabuhat ni teacher is kanang nakay makaget po ka o kanang high score or high grade mo na siya ang reward power. Murag kung nakaibuhato na maayo, magtuman ka sa sugod ni teacher, makaget ka og reward from the teacher. So, the next one is coercive power. This power makes it plain that non-compliance will bring punishment. So, ang coercive power is like opposite side of the reward. So, ang coercive power is kanina power is they will get a punishment if they will not comply all the requirements that the teacher would manang ipahatag sa imuha. If dili ka mag-comply og mga requirements na quality teacher is makaget ka og punishment mo ng coercive power. Na power ang teacher na makahatag siya og punishment na failing grades. So the third one is expert power. So, expert power exercised by people who are popular and admired with whom the less popular can identify. So, expert power is exercised by the teacher because the school organization expert on their own field. Students will comply all the requirements. So, ang expert power is ga-comply ni siya sa all requirements na ginahata ni teacher para makaget siya og the kanang reward power. Makaget siya og reward from the teacher. And expert siya kay i-comply man siya, mas maayo man siya ani. So, that would be all of my discussion about the politics of school as a social system.
Technical core is considered as a structure of the organization where the actual product of the organization is produced in the school, exemplified by the teaching and learning in the classroom. Now, school organizations has a ultimate goal. It is to empower all students in all grades in their learning and assess in a meaningful and effective manner. So technical core has a lot of variables, and these variables interact with each other as the learner works towards their goals and incorporate new knowledge, behaviors that add to the range of learning experiences of the learners. Since the technical core is about the teaching and learning process in schools, it can be achieved through different teaching pedagogies, learning styles, techniques, approaches, and relationships. So, when we say teaching pedagogies, it is a term that refers to the method of how teachers teach in theory and in practice. It is formed by an educator's teaching beliefs and concerns, the interplay between culture and different ways to learn. So, examples of teaching pedagogies are teachers asking questions to find out prior knowledge of the students, or teachers giving rewards for the effort of the students, teachers changing the classroom layout, or teachers setting up high expectations for the students, differentiation, and spaced repetition. So that was the example of. Those were the examples of teaching pedagogies. Then next we have the learning styles. Learning styles can be described as a set of factors, behaviors, and attitudes that facilitate learning for an individual in a given situation. Learning styles is influence how students learn, how teachers teach, and how the two interact. So from the previous subject, or from the past semester, we've already encountered the 7 learning styles. And these are visual, oral, verbal, physical, logical, social, and solitary. So, no need to elaborate because I know that expert naman ni guys. So, we proceed to the techniques. So, techniques are implementation that which actually takes place in a classroom. It is a particular trick or procedure to accomplish an immediate objective. It must be consistent with the method and harmony with approach as well. A technique is a detailed list of rules or a guidelines for any teaching activity. It includes interrogation, self-explanation, summarization, highlighting, keyword mnemonics, or imagery use. And then the last one is approaches and relationships. Approaches refers to a way of looking at teaching and learning. An approach gives rise to methods, the way of teaching something, which use classroom activities. And then relationships. Strong relationships with teachers and school staff can dramatically enhance students' level of motivation and therefore promote learning. Students who have access to more strong relationships are more academically engaged and have more skills and experience more positive behavior. Of course, learning is fun with friends. It could be a relationship of student and teachers, student and staffs, or students from to another students.
Let's move on to letter F, the environment. Is anything outside the system? Environment plays a critical to the organizational functioning of schools. It is the system's source of energy. It provides resources, values, technology, demands, and history. Research has shown that an engaged learning environment increases students' attention and focus, promotes meaningful learning experience, encourages high levels of students' performance, and motivates students practice higher level critical thinking skills. Letter G. Outcomes. Products of the organizations that is educated students' performance outcomes are indicators of goal accomplishment. Meaning of outcomes in school, student outcomes typically refers to either the desired learning objectives or standards that school and teacher want to achieve, the educational, social, and life effects that result from students being educated.
Hello everyone, I'm Nashaljin A. Huban. This is a continuation of our report. My given topic is the feedback loops, internal and external. Feedback loops is a process of checking for and affirming understanding that is specific, non-evaluative, manageable, and focused on the learning target. So in education, the feedback loops is a conversations between students and the teachers. This isn't a one-way street. These are discussions that encourage student agency by positioning them as active owners of their learning. Effective feedback can help students learn how to learn.
Moreover, for feedback to be effective, it needs to be positive. Positive feedback focuses on what you did well and suggests how further improvements could be made. For this to be most effective, it needs to be precise and accurate and given as soon as possible after the activity. So now let's go to the internal and external, the two main types of the feedback loops. Internal feedback is the new knowledge that students generate when they compare their current knowledge and competence against some reference information. So the internal feedback is sometimes called as kinesthetic. This feedback comes from the students that this type let the students feel what he or she doing. So next is the external feedback. Is information that we receive from outside of ourselves, such as coaching, or outside of an organization, such as customers. So the external feedback can be passed on in a number of ways. It can be in a visual, verbal, and in a written.
So good day everyone. So my assigned topic is the school as a community, which is under the Unit 2, the school as a social system. So let me start with this quote from African Proverbs. It says, "It takes a village to educate a child." And as we go later on, as we go along with our lesson, we will be able to construct our own perspectives and to answer why it takes a village to educate a child. So before anything else, let us define some terms which can serve as our guide in this lesson. So school, community, and school culture. School is an educational institution designed to provide learning spaces and environments for learners. So it is an organization that prepares learners for adult roles. And community is a group of people living together in one place, sharing of common characteristics which link them all irrespective of locality, interest, passion, needs, expectation, knowledge, resources, beliefs, occupation, and etc. It is a group that sharing the same interest, living in the same space. And school culture, this refers to the beliefs, perceptions, relationships, attitude with the written and unwritten rules that shape the influence every aspect of how a school functions. Now, how are schools, communities, and a community? Let's start from first by knowing who are the members of the school and the community. The members of the school are teachers, students, administrations, non-teaching staff, parents, LGUs, and other stakeholders. The members of the community includes LGUs, non-government agencies, civic organizations, and residents. School community relationship. Members of the school will be members of their local community, reflecting its beliefs and values, conveyed through the action, behavior, and attitudes of pupils, teaching and non-teaching staff, parents, governors, and LEA, or local educational agency. The connection between the school and the community is not static but develops in a continuum. So it's not static but it's dynamic as it adapts to the changes in the society in the community. The school and the community are the mainspring of effective and powerful forces that can create a wholesome climate for mental gains. A favorable partnership between the school and the community will yield a bountiful harvest by way of establishing a conducive learning environment in the school and orderly civic-minded citizenry of a community. So there is a shared commitment between the members of the school and the members of the community. So there are three possible patterns of connection between the school and the community as described in the educational literature. The first one is the closed door pattern, second is the open door pattern, and the third is the balance pattern. The closed door pattern. The school deals with all the child's educational and social problems. Therefore, community involvement and interventions are minimal. However, a school will be unaware of changes occurring in these systems. However, according to Friedman 1985, the closed door policy towards the community needs feedback, and the absence of the consent from the parent and the community, the school will be unaware of the changes. Hence, it will be unable to adapt itself and its curricula to the changes and will keep on degenerating. The second is the open door pattern. The school and the parents operates as an open system. It makes the parents partners to their child's educational process and strive to become influential factor of the life of the community. There is a shared commitment and there is a healthy exchange of ideas between the school and the community, which means information flows forcefully in both directions. The third one is the balance pattern. The school and the parents set the degree of closeness or distance between them in order to achieve educational and social goals to the optimal extent, so there is no overstepping of boundaries. Furthermore, when the distance is large, the school has to bridge the gap and reach out to the community. And when the distance is small, the school has to close its gate so that what the balance pattern means. So here's the examples of school community partnerships. The first one is the Brigada Escuela. This is a program that engages all educational stakeholders to contribute their time, effort, and resources in ensuring the public school facilities are set in time for the school opening so that it can make a conducive learning environment for the learners. Another example is curriculum development, the use of community resources for learning so that it adapts to the changes in the community. And another is work experience program. The business establishments and the offices in the community can serve as training grounds. Example for this is the work immersion that we have in the high school and OGT and college. Another example is youth development programs and community services. The young may involve themselves in youth development program and community services. An example for this is leadership training, seminars, workshops, cleanup drive, and etc. The roles of parents and families. Parental involvement increases awareness of the importance of the community action. When the parents take part of the educational process, the pupils are exposed to a variety of people who represent different words in terms of the experience, age, occupation, hobbies, and mentality. These encounters afford many opportunities for learning, enrichment, and identification. Thus, it is very important that the parents are involved to the progress of the educational process of their children. So, what are your roles as a teacher? As a teacher, you have to acknowledge and draw on parental knowledge and expertise. Ensure that the parents understand the procedures and are aware of how to access support and are given documents to be discussed well before meetings and educate individuals to become active participants in the community. As a teacher, we have to recognize the personal and emotional investment of parents and be aware of the feelings because parents are the first teacher of the child and we are the second mother. So, therefore, we need to acknowledge their ideas and the perspective of their children and take those things into consideration. We have to ensure and educate individuals in order that they become a productive citizen in the community. And the last one is the school as a community. So every school is a central to its community. And of course, the members of the school become members of the local community. And therefore, all members contribute to the educational experience of a child.
Good day everyone, I am Rocky May L. Abituna and this is the continuation of our report. This is the school as a learning community, the community of practice. As a learning community, the school believes that collaboration enhances learning and helps people develop self-awareness and self-esteem. By this, it helps the members of the society to know themselves and to know about their self-respect. According to Etienne Winger, the first person who coined the word community of practice, that it is a group of people who share a passion for something that they know how to do and who interact regularly to learn how to do it better. In order to become successful, it requires members to be participatory and is essentially led by its members since it is their responsibilities to ensure that the community of practice stays relevant, engaging and offers value to the domain of interest. In short, we all learn in everyday life from the communities in which we find ourselves. So, dapat na ay passion ang mga tao, meaning people must have a passion to help other people, just like to the teachers. They should help learners to gain knowledge in different ways and to achieve their academic life. Also, the learners should help the teacher to share their opinions or any ideas that they have. For example, a student as a student, I will take my responsibilities as a student. And also for the teachers out there, they are responsible to teach learners or students, and the students are responsible for listening and learning. So the community will grow as a good community. So both students and teachers must participate in community. There are three characteristics of communities in practice. First is the domain. Community members have a shared domain of interest, competence, and commitment that distinguishes them from others. This shared domain creates common ground, inspires members to participate, guides their learning, and gives meaning to their actions. So, meaning, in a community, members must have interest and they are committed to their work and to their responsibilities. Example, if there are one member in that community who is active in different activities, the remaining members also will be active in that activity. So that's why everybody should participate all the time. So that is the domain. Second is the community. Members pursue this interest through joint activities, discussions, problem solving opportunities, information sharing, and relationship building. The notion of a community creates the social fabric for enabling collective learning. A strong community fosters interaction and encourages a willingness to share ideas. So in the community, again, like what I've said earlier, in a community, members must participate always in different activities. Example, the teacher should have a discussion in a lesson or in a class to help learners understand the lesson. The learners also will share ideas and information to the other learners to have a strong communication and interaction with each other. The third characteristics of community of practice is the practice. Community members are actual practitioners in this domain of interest and build a shared repertoire of resources and ideas that they take back to their practice. While the domain provides the general area of interest for the community, the practice is the specific focus around which the community develops, shares, and maintains its core of collective knowledge. So, meaning everyone should practice to share ideas and to give any available resources in a community.
So, good afternoon everyone. So, my assigned topic in this report is the Student Library Advisory Committee, or SLAC. So, it's a group that advocates for the library by sharing ideas for innovation of services and spaces. The advisors encourage open conversation and also use SLAC as a test group for new instruction and marketing ideas. Next is, in this policy, the DepEd institutionalized learning action cells, LACS, that aim to develop and support successful teachers by nurturing their knowledge, attitudes, and competences in terms of curriculum, instruction, and assessment in their workstations. So, LAC sessions facilitated by a designated LAC leader have proven to be effective in engaging a group of teachers in collaborating and solving shared challenges. LAC sessions encourage critical reflections amongst teachers, which increases the understanding and knowledge of the curriculum and classroom practices. So, ang Student Library Committee or SLAC is mga tawo nga ga-aim sa pag-share og bag-o nga idea for improvement. So, basically, guide ni siya for new ideas para mas kanang madungagan pa ang knowledge sa mga estudyante. Then, with the help sa mga advisors, gina-encourage ang pagiging open-minded and also express kung unsay mga queries para sa bag-o nga instruction and marketing ideas aron kanang makita nila ang mga questions sa mga bata. Do constructivism jud ang strategy para sa mga bata, but still it is needed that aside sa instruction nga gihatag sa teacher is naa sila'y new options. So,
SLAC, Professional Learning Communities. What does PLC mean? An ongoing process in which educators work collaboratively in requiring cycles of collective inquiry and action research to achieve better results for the students they serve. PLCs operate under the assumption that the key to improve learning for students is continuous job-embedded learning for educators. Becoming a professional learning community. Goals. SMART goals. S is for specific, strategic, M is for measurable, A for attainable, R for results driven, and the last is T, time bound. Becoming a professional learning community. Team norms. Establishing agreed upon norms, committing to them. Next is aim for the target. Next, monitoring the team, and the last is focus on the result. Becoming a professional learning community. Leadership. Loose, tight leadership. Effective leaders don't simply encourage but rather establish clear parameters and priorities that enables schools to work within the established boundaries in a creative and autonomous way. PLC Big Ideas and Core Values. First is ensuring that students learning for all, a culture of collaboration, teamwork. Last is focus on result, data-driven discussion. The PLC Big Ideas number 1. Learning. We accept learning as the fundamental purpose of our school, and therefore they are willing to examine all practices in light of their impact on learning. The fundamental purpose of the school is to ensure that all students learn rather than see to it that all students are taught, an enormous distinction. Why collaborate? First is gains in a student achievement. Next is higher quality solutions to problems. Next, increase confidence among all staff. Next is teachers able to support one another's strengths and accommodates weakness, ability to test new ideas. Next is more support for new teachers, and the last is expanded pool of ideas, materials, and methods. The PLC Big Ideas number 2. Collaboration to co-labor. We are committed to working together to achieve our collective purpose. We cultivate a collaborative culture through development of high-performing teams, a systematic process in which we work together interdependently to analyze and impact professional practice in order to improve our individual and collective result. Next is lucky number 7. 7 keys to collaboration in a PLC. Number 1, embed collaboration with a focus on learning in routine practices of the school. Number 2, schedule time for collaboration in the school day and school calendar. Number 3, focus teams in critical question. Number 4, make products of collaboration explicit. 5 is establish team norms to guide collaboration. See next slide. 6 is pursue specific and measurable teams performance goals, and the last is number 7, which is provide teams with frequent access to relevant informations.